What? What?
Probably have to contact them, like, I can email them.
Well, it's supposed to be coming out, so maybe if we can get it.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll make a list of things that we need. Notary, mic, and then we'll talk about broadcasting and so forth. You know, and are they coming or what? Did they take the house?
Yeah, they're on their way out. We sent the screen for damage.
What? I didn't see it. Just check to see from YouTube, and I'm going to like paintbrushes.
I get cramps there.
Ah, okay, so just give me,
Double check.
yeah.
Usually is
Okay, sorry.
perfect. Now you can change your password.
So I can change it to,
Yeah.
let's just see.
No way.
Microphone. Okay. You have to talk about your leadership team. Yeah, I can do that when I get back down.
This is that one, so it's helpful. So can you change, so can they access it when they're not?
There is, but I don't know if there's a mic that you can reserve for today. But if you give an advance request, I'm sure they can do that.
Okay, so I know, so can you check them, they have one, a mic,
Yeah.
check that, and then come back. Thank you.
If you want, I can just call the class with them. If they don't have one.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, no, we can email David Chung.
Or David Flack.
Okay, so where's that starting now?
That's a good, it's a metal. So look at your emails here.
Elliot Rodriguez? Okay.
So let them know.
Alright.
Okay, so we'll see if we can. So this has been set up, right? So I'm gonna you, and then other people can participate in it. We'll talk about it.
So you're gonna come back here, after I process everything, yeah, come right back here.
Today, let's do that definitely.
I don't really. I see you. I'm gonna get it. I signed
Okay, folks. We're in business technology, and guess what? There's always problems, right? So anytime that we're going to use any technology, I've never had a class, and you'll see it, that everything works perfectly. So what we need to do is take a deep breath. And then we basically say we're always going to have issues, but we're going to learn from our issues and find solutions to the issues. Because if we're dealing with technology, and of course, we will, in this class especially, and looking on how it's going to be applied to business, we're going to have issues. So even simple things like logging in. They've put password protection on these machines. Why? we're gonna be talking about that, but many times, remember we talk about cybersecurity and security all the time, there are issues. Sometimes we have to look at cost-benefit analysis of what would be so bad to have this open, this from 9 to 5, to have this computer open here that we can use. We'll talk about that as well. So, I'm Dr. Rushanik, and what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching this class, Business Technology Information Systems. I love the first day, don't you? Because you're not behind, and I'm not behind. So we're all kind of up to our homework. You can feel confident. We'll set this up. So I just wanted to introduce Alex. Alex, you want to just? He's my, basically he's my research assistant and he's my teaching assistant. And just so you know, he was in my class last semester. So he was just basically so outstanding. He was even helping me last semester that he continues to work with me on some of our trading strategies. He's in finance, also computer science. So it's a nice combination. So he's a great resource. So we're trying to work out his schedule, but he definitely is going to be available, hopefully not only in this class, but other times that we're going to be in the labs for homeworks and so forth. So he's going to be, you can just take a seat here, Alex, and then we'll, I have a lot of issues here, so you know, Alex, I have a lot of issues that we're going to have problems with that we'll solve. Okay? So this is the beautiful time to figure out whether you want to spend a semester with me. I'm here. You have a choice. We all have choices, but my choice for this semester is to spend this evenings with you. And I'll talk about what I plan to do in this class, and you can see, does it fit what you want to do? We all have it, and that's what's nice on it. Okay, so let me start by seeing if we can, as we say, get into a number, of systems. I haven't been in this room, so who knows if anything works, right? So if I want to go to courses.miami.edu, let's see if it will let me. The issue here is I'm going to agree. And let's see if this will let me. They have so many password changes. Let's see. And guess what? What's happening here? Isn't it wonderful that anytime we have something in this class, it's wonderful that we can use it as a teaching moment. And isn't that great? We can use it as a teaching moment. And what is happening here? Who can tell me what's happening? Yes, your name is Daniel?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
what's happening?
asking you to take another step for security.
Okay, it's asking me to take another step for security. And what's the purpose of that?
To make sure it's really you logging in, not someone else.
Okay, so it's trying to do some identification. And why are they doing that? Anybody have an idea? This is called a dual authentication, right? So it's basically trying, in terms of security, trying to help me. Now, what's it asking me for? And I'll tell you the story, what's behind this in a moment. Basically, what was behind here was that at the University of Miami, it was basically some lapses in security, so they implemented this dual security. So what are they asking me for? They're saying, send me a push, right? And here it says my devices are a white phone, right? Where's my white phone? Anybody know where my white phone is? In the front. So my white phone now, I'm broadcasting this class, and we'll talk about it later, right? But I'm basically researching a number of new technologies, and one of the technologies is, look how we're all sitting here. How many people in first grade sat like this too, right? Everybody sat like this. And aren't we now in a different environment? Why should we be sitting like this? Why should it be that if you have somewhere else to go, why can't you basically what? Anywhere in the world, basically log on and participate in this class live? Right? It should be. So I'm trying out new technologies of education, of business, and so forth. So we're trying our own. So when this is moving here, then this is recording. I can send on my white phone, or what I can do here is I can, if it's working, I can enter a passcode. So let's see if this passcode works. 506, right? 219, and I'm broadcasting, so I'm all of a sudden, is that going to be a problem? Then I'm announcing what this passcode key is. Is there a problem with that? Why? What's your name? The baseball cap?
Blake,
Blake. Why is that not a problem?
for logging in with the password.
Yeah, it says passcode. Why is that not a problem?
Because you already logged in with the other passwords.
And what else? What is your name?
Ben,
Ben.
it'll give you a new password every time.
It'll give me a new code each time, right? So the idea here, it'd be different than having my bank, my bank password and announcing it to everyone and telling you how much I have there, right? So we have to be here an issue here, and now I have here, and now all of a sudden, look at this, they're inundating me with information. And after a while, doesn't it get irritating, and whoever reads any of this, right? Have you ever read Apple's, warnings, any of those? Nobody ever reads those. So we got here privacy and cookies and terms of use. We'll talk about privacy in this class. We'll talk about security in this class. We'll have security officers from education, from business come into the class. We'll talk about security products. Anybody hear of Cisco? Cisco? Anybody hear of WebEx and a number of systems? So we'll have a number of those people here. Blackboard privacy statements, agree and continue. Anybody read all this? No, but guess what? You can't move on. So what do you usually do? Agree, right? And that's the issue here. So we have issues there. Okay. So what I want to do, and these are things that I also wanted to let Alex know as well, is I want to find ways in which we can collaborate as groups, ways we can use technology to broadcast if we have something important to say, and bring experts from around the world into the classroom. We can physically bring them in, which we will do. Physically, we'll have people, that may come in from all over the world when they're passing through Miami. But we can have them between 5 and 6, 5:05 to when do we go?
6:20.
6:20, we can have them as well. So we'll look for different software that we can broadcast. Anybody ever do any broadcasting? Anybody ever do any YouTube? Anybody have a YouTube channel? Raise your hand if you have a YouTube channel. Daniel, what do you use your YouTube channel for?
I've only posted once or twice for a school
Okay,
team,
so one of the things, what is it about YouTube? Anybody posted anything in Facebook? And Instagram, nobody? Nobody has a Facebook, right? What have you used?
What about what?
What have you used? What have you done? You have a Facebook page and what else?
Yeah, I just posted like stuff on
Someone
Facebook.
done-
Whether it's like a birthday message.
Okay, and have you ever done Facebook Live? Who's done Facebook Live? Okay, so we'll try Facebook Live too. So what we're going to try to do is look for broadcasting, and in terms of broadcasting, we want to do two things, and this is especially for what I want to tell for Alex, and then we'll have assignments later. In terms of broadcasting, I want to stream the class. I want to do live streaming. And I want to do live streaming to YouTube. And the reason I'm looking for YouTube is how much does YouTube cost? Anybody go to YouTube ever in their life?
It's
Tell me
free.
now. It's free. So what I like is free for experimental purposes. So we can do YouTube Live free. What else do I like? I want YouTube Live. Do you need a user password, a username and a user password to get into YouTube to view anything?
No.
No, that's what I love too. For some reasons, we need to have restrictions, right, that we're doing. But in terms of what I want to present, let the whole world listen to it. Let the whole world participate. They can get credit, then they'll have to pay credit, right? You guys are paying credit and being part of the university, but let them come in. We don't have to have everybody speak, but we'll see on this way. So Alex, I want you to, right? And on time, I want to have then YouTube Live that I can do it. And then I also just don't want to have my face, but a lot of times I'm going to be showing software. And when I'm going to be showing software, what do I really want to grab? What do I want to capture?
Computer screen.
The computer screen. So what I want is I want it, when I stream, I want to be able to capture the screen. And there's a product, Alex, called ICU. With even, maybe we can try to do this with maybe a broadcasting system, see which one we can use for free. There's one called OBS. Anybody have a Twitch account? Anybody do gaming with Twitch? Do you have a Twitch account?
Yeah.
Okay, so it may be good. So you think, your parents are complaining that you're playing too many games. In my class, you can go and tell your parents tonight that I was rewarded here in class, because what we're going to be doing is basically, what do gamers do? They like to broadcast what they're doing, and other people around the world, right? You can make a living if you're really good at it, right? And broadcast. So something like OBS, even with a Twitch account, can possibly do that. So look up how I'm going to do live YouTube streaming, because what happened? There was a product by Google. So what do we have here?
So unfortunately the microphones are all reserved right now,
Okay,
but,
but what?
there should have been a podium right in here.
It should have been.
But you can email the AV team, and if you give them advance notice, they'll be able to
Okay.
reserve the microphone for you.
Okay, the AV. Okay. Can you pass that along to them, please?
Yes.
That we're here on Mondays and Wednesdays at this time. Thank you. And one of the things that we'll see in this class as well is trying to solve problems. We were supposed to have a mic here, a podium mic. Do you see anybody see a podium mic? A lapel mic? So one of the things is we'll be able to document what we have and get the job done. So we're going to try to do the streaming and the screen capturing looking at it. There was a program, and let me just show you here, there was a program. So if I go to YouTube.com, right, in YouTube, when I have a channel, you need to have a channel. So you can even try it out, Alex, with a channel. If I have my channel here, I can then broadcast with something called, it used to be called Google Hangouts on Air. Anybody here ever use Hangouts or anything like that? The difference between hanging out that you can do with your friends, they had something called Google on Air. On Air sounds like what? Broadcasting, right? Like you're on air. And you could broadcast, and guess how much it costs? You know me already, I'm cheap. How much does it cost? Free. So it's free there, and all of a sudden, and it was always in beta, and all of a sudden in August, they said, we need to use then, Alex, you can look at it, it was like Google Meet and Team, things like that. But the problem here is it doesn't go through YouTube Live, and it's not anonymous, and so. So that's what I'd like you to do, Alex, for next time, is to try to do it. Okay? So, let's go back to where we were before, that I'm in my courses. And are you in the courses? One of the things here, also, just so you know, in other courses, they, and this is kind of tricky, they say, shut down your computers, don't do it, because you're going to look at your Facebook and your email. And when there's a boring class, it's hard for anybody to not open up their phone and look at it. So what I suggest you do for next class is bring your laptops to this class, okay? Because we're going to be working on different projects on how to collaborate. But bring your classes here, and these are the courses that I'm an instructor in. And there's one section that you should have in yours, it's BTE 210J, Fundamentals of Business, right? So let's hook this in. And in this case, want to go through a couple of things here. Let's go through the syllabus. And you have a couple of syllabus here. We'll discuss this more in detail next time. But here's one. Let's see what happens. I'm going to open it. Let's see if we can open it. And then we see my name. That's good. Install updates. Don't you love this? So you get somewhere. So where is, let's see here. Is this working better? Showing open. Let's see. Okay, and what is this asking me? Ask me later, right? And accept. They always want me to accept something. Have you noticed that? Every time they want me to accept. I'm accepting almost everything. I'm going to close my files, and I'm going to enable editing, and then we can see it. Okay, everybody see this? Let's go over and let's see what's happening first. Okay, this is my name. I'm Dr. Sarah Rushnick. I'm a professor here at the University of Miami in business technology and also health informatics. I also am in the School of Medicine in their translational research program, which means bringing technology from medicine into showing them how to create business from that. So I'm in that as well. My undergraduate degree was from Tel Aviv University, and my graduate degree was from the University of Texas at Austin. And I've taught in a number of, I've taught at UCLA and University of Southern California, University of San Francisco, University of Maryland, Technion, and Tel Aviv University. And my research interests are quite varied, but it's one is how do you use technology to make better business decisions, either increase revenues, decrease costs, using new technologies. My current interests are also in automated trading systems. Any finance majors? Who's a finance major? Basically, finance is going to be changing completely with that whole area of fintech. So we'll be going through a number of ways in which now they talk about algorithmic trading. Anybody know what that is? Who knows? What is your name?
Scott.
Scott. What is it?
So it's like you have a lot of machines trade using like very fast calculations that humans couldn't do, and it's like they're taking up a larger and larger percent of all trades, you know, and people think that like humans may become more obsolete in the market.
Okay, so what are you doing here? Studying finance, and we're all going to be obsolete, right? We'll just be, what is it, the idea? They'll just give them $1,000 a month, and the machines will do everything with it. Basically, what an algorithm is a way of doing a task. There's steps to do a task, okay? So algorithmic trading is we're thinking about a strategy, and we'll go over that software, and we'll download that software, is basically looking at ways to trade better and to rely that we're going to do what? Increase our profits and decrease our costs. And the computer, when we instill in it artificial intelligence, anybody hear of that word, AI? That's thrown around, it's bandied around all the time. A lot of things are not AI, but if you're going to be, who wants to be an entrepreneur? Anybody? If you want to be an entrepreneur, you stuff in AI now, you have to have that in kind of your title. People are more likely to be saying hooray, hooray. But it basically is the idea for the machines or the computers to start learning like humans. But who then develops those strategies? Are whom? Humans. And basically they're groups of people that need to do what? Collaborate with each other. And where are they coming from? Not only finance, but it may be physics, it may be math, it may be computer science, it may be in a certain sector analysis. So there are going to be groups of people, it may be in terms of people that know certain sectors that I'm focusing in. So it's a group effort. So those are some of the things that I have done research on. There's a group here in Miami, they just opened up. Anybody hear the word blockchain? What is your name?
Tyler.
Tyler, what did you hear about blockchain?
Well, it's just basically the technology used on like Bitcoin and different like cryptocurrencies that kind of chip away at an overarching system of
Right,
like,
it's a architecture, the technology, and basically they're trying to, in a way, have basically a peer-to-peer as we're looking at those processes. Have you ever done anything? Have you ever invested in Bitcoin?
No, my brother's very into it.
Okay, so has he lost a lot of money or gained a lot of money?
No,
I'm
I mean, he's
curious.
got a lot of money into it, so we'll see, I guess.
Well, we'll see. So one of the things is they've opened up here in Miami a blockchain center. So we'll have, and they have Monday nights, they have open nights. So either I'll have you invitations after this class if you don't have it, or I'll invite them that they can have some of their meetings with us. So on blockchain. So we'll be going over blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and also we'll be looking at software, and we're looking at strategies. And that's another thing, Alex, I wanted you to look at, is we're going to be using a software program called NinjaTrader. That's one of the programs we'll be using. I'm giving you an overview. NinjaTrader.com. And in NinjaTrader.com, you can download it for free, and it's a simulation. NinjaTrader is a broker, but it's also, you can download, you can put in your email address here and download it. It runs on Windows. So if you have a Windows machine or a Windows operating system or a virtual machine in Windows, you can run it. We'll also have it in the lab here. So some of the classes, I've reserved the lab. So what's nice is, rather than meeting down here, we don't have to go far, we'll be in the lab as well, looking at some of these software places. So what I wanted to add to you, Alex, if you can make note of it, we're going to try to do some of the simulation with Bitcoin and some of the currencies. So Bitcoin is BTC for Bitcoin. And so write down two things, Alex, and I'll give you instructions later on. In the lab, we want to have a connection to Coinbase. And I want to have a connection to BitMEX. And why do I like them? There's going to be data feeds that usually in data feeds, you have to pay for them. And what do you think about these data feeds? How much do you think it costs? Any ideas?
It's free.
It's free, good. So it's free, right? So it's free, and in this case, we'll have live data. And what's great about Bitcoin is when does the market, like the NASDAQ and end?
It closes on weekend, but Bitcoin's always running.
Yeah, and when does it, what time does it close during the day, the trading?
4.
4. When's our class? 5. So if we want to do kind of live, something live, we can look at kind of like replay data, but with the Bitcoin, why I like to use it is we're not investing, and one of the things I'm going to tell you right now, this is not a class to make money, but it's a class in order to see what are the new technologies. So we'll be using it, and if you're interested in this type of thing and the strategies, we're going to be doing projects. You can have your project around some of these strategies. If you're not interested in that, there'll be a lot of other things that I'll show you that it doesn't matter what major you are. I don't care what you're studying. I'll show you where it'll apply technology. Okay? So that's one of the two things. Alex, did you get that? of Coinbase and to be able, once we get the instruction, we can install it in the lab. So the students, just like the end of day data we could get, we'll get the others. Okay? All right. So these are kind of asides about myself. So I'm involved in a lot of different areas, any areas with technology. I was just available. I'm also involved quite a bit of women in technology. Last semester, I guess in the summer, I was awarded, inducted into the Hall of Fame in Silicon Valley. So there were another four women with me in there, and one was the highest ranking woman from Microsoft. The other was from IBM in security. You know our single sign-on? She basically has the patent on single sign-on. And the other woman was from Johns Hopkins, a professor in medical engineering, and the other woman was from Mexico, from Monterrey, that started a company right after graduating her undergraduate, and now she has 12,000 employees around the world. And she wasn't even in technology, she was in marketing, and she basically does IT services for everyone in the world. She has 12,000 employees. So why am I telling you this? Is I invited them to visit us in Miami. Probably near the end of the semester when it's cooler, right? Everybody from Seattle or whatever will take the bait and come visit. So maybe we'll have them come and visit as well. And then they're also starting, I'm getting involved, there's also starting a group in Latin American women in cyber security. So they'll be coming around talking about cybersecurity with us. So that's my background. You have the course materials here. This is, you have the book. This is the link to the book. I don't care how you get it. What I probably would like is, how much do I want you to spend is the least amount of money you can. You know, so if you can get it online, if you can get it used, whatever you get it in any format that you like. You like a hard copy, get a hard copy. You like digital copy, get a digital copy. I don't care. This is going to be basically the backbone of what we study, but there's going to be more. Because number one, I find that boring for myself, just reading a textbook and then regurgitating it out. Two, whenever this was, even if this was 6 months old, everything is changing quickly. So we need to be up to date. And three, I want to do something hands-on that we can actually develop and see what it is, rather than just reading. So it's not a history class and such. So we'll be trying to go through here. You can see the prerequisites. You can look at it. We'll be discussing hardware, software, and any topic we talk about, we'll try to look at it hands-on exercises with it. So you can see hardware, software, application development, networks, databases, enterprise resource planning, information security, internet, cloud, mobile, business intelligence, expert systems, AIs. We've got enough. And then here's some course policies. You can read them on your own. Arriving late, leaving early, coming and going. I don't lock the doors. I had one professor I know locks doors. I don't lock doors. You know, I think it's coming and going. If you're respectful and so forth, that's up to you. And later on, if we think about broadcasting, what I want to do, if you're sick and you have the flu, guess what? Do you want that person here? Who wants that person here? I can tell you, I don't want that person here. And you don't want to be here when you're sick and if you're in bed and you can do something, then what I want to do is see in the opportunity you can log on and be part of the class so you can stay home with your sniffles. We don't get infected, right? And you can be part of the class. So those are ideas. It's not always going to work. And one of the things we have to realize, notice how long it took just to get the computer up and running. I still don't have a mic. You know, there's so many different things, but we're going to use it as a learning experiment and just brush it off and saying, how can we learn, how can we document? So these are areas in which we're going to do it. We'll talk about peer review. We'll be talking about how do you work in groups, because that's really whenever you're gonna go and work, I don't care if you're working now or you work earlier or you're gonna work later, it's gonna be with groups. How do you evaluate each other? Late assignment, exam reschedule. One thing I can say about the exam policy is there's going to be 2 exams here. Those exams are required exams. You need to be at the date that's required. If you have an excuse, a signed excuse ahead of time from me, then there are no makeups on those. You need to be at the time adjusted. Participation in class. I require participation. One of the things I require is that I don't know all the answers, you don't know all the answers, but we're prepared. I can't find something. What I want you to do is document what you don't know. A lot of times what I don't want to do is take the book and regurgitate it back to you. I expect if you do not know how to read, this is not the class for you. I expect you to know how to read. So those types of things, why go over, why waste your valuable time on things that you know already? I want to give you value just as I want you to give me value. And I view it as working together. Do you understand? So I require, and it's easy to be a slacker. And if you're a slacker, there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people, it's life. You can be a slacker, but it's not good to be a slacker in this class. We're going to be working on groups, and I'm expecting you, when we do our group projects, we're going to start off early, that you do your share. If you have questions, it didn't work out, that's fine. I have no problem. You know how sometimes how people say, there's no stupid question? Has anybody heard about that? There's not a stupid question? Everybody believe that? There are stupid questions, I think. When people are not, there are, but one of the things, that's my opinion, there are stupid questions when people, but what I want is that you have tried and you've done your best to try to find the answers. But just for you to say, I don't know, is not an acceptable answer in this class. Because if you don't know, guess what? You have a computer in front of you. Can you find the answer? Can you find it? Maybe you can read what it says, right? Google is our friend, right? Right? Wikipedia is our friend, that we can read it, and then it says, I read it, but I don't understand it. And this is the part I don't understand. And guess what? We'll work together in trying to understand it. So what I want is the effort from both sides. It has to be in this class. Other classes are different. So participation during this class. Later on, what I'll do is I call on everyone. Everyone needs to be prepared for my class. But guess what? We all have bad days. What I allow is one bad day in the semester where you say, you know what, Dr. Rushing, leave me alone today. That's acceptable. You understand? So we'll talk about that. Today, don't do that, because it's a wasted day. You know what I mean? So I would, even if you don't feel that well, you know what I mean? Take it on another day when things are stressing. So collaboration on graded assignment. I will expect in this class, it's kind of strange, is that you help each other. In other classes, you have to hide your work and so forth. I expect you to help each other, because that other person next to you, they'll help you in another part of the assignment. I expect that. In exams, I don't expect that. It's individual for those exams. But on assignments where it's great, I expect it. Technology, we'll learn a lot of technology. We'll look at automated trading systems. We'll look at search engine optimizations. We'll look at mobile website. These are the assignments that we have. We have exam 1 and exam 2. There'll be 30% of the grades. One will be in the middle of the semester. The other second exam is like the final exam. And we'll decide whether it's going to be cumulative or not. A lot of times, what we learn in the beginning is cumulative because you need that in order to know the more advanced material. What I'd like you to do, and do me a favor now, is check when do we have the final schedule. It's for this, it's section J. Somebody tell us. When is it? Who can tell me? It's probably on your, on what, Cane Link or something when final exams are, and let us know when it is. Because it's important, you know, when it's easy to forget. Why am I asking you to look that up? Is to make sure that when you make reservations to go home or to go wherever, that you don't do it during that exam, because I will not give exams early. We'll have a group projects, we'll start in the group projects, starting already on the next time we meet. Yes,
I don't think the schedule's out yet.
it's on, they hold it, okay, so let me know as soon as it comes, so then everybody can do it. I thought they usually, they wait till they do it, but we'll see. Okay, group projects, you'll given assignments, you'll be given individual assignments, and you're being given group project assignments, and then there'll be class participation. This is the course syllabus, and I say here, revised class subject to change. We'll see how we go. Each class is different. We're going to go over different kind of interests and so forth. So this is tentatively where we are. Tentatively, we say in October 7th, that Monday, I like to do an exam. I like to do an exam on Monday, and I'll tell you why. We'll see if another class comes in here. But on Wednesday, you'll see I have back on my other class is health informatics class, and it meets right after this. And I'd rather give you an exam on Monday, so those of you that need a little bit of extra time can have it with me. Yes?
The final exam's supposed to be Wednesday, the 11th, from 5 to 7:30.
Okay, Monday. Write it down, Monday,
Wednesday, the 11th,
Wednesday, December 11th,
from 5 to 7:30.
5 to 7:30. It'll be in this room. Right?
It's the last day.
What? It's the last day. Our luck. So now you know. So tell your parents that a lot of times are already looking for deals to bring you home. Tell them that, and it's 5 to 7:30, right? We'll bring food. We'll do a celebration too. So it's in here. Make sure that you put that in your note, your calendar.
That's what the schedule says that they posted. I heard things
Jen.
might change.
We'll see. What is your name?
Olivia?
Olivia. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm ready credit for that. Okay, doing it. Okay. So basically we want to work as a group here in the team and helping each other. Okay. See what it is, but that's where it is. The exams. What are the exams like? That's what everybody wants to know, right? The exams cover two parts. They'll cover the readings. And a lot of the readings you can do on your own. I'm going to go over in class. I'll go over what I think are important about the readings. It'll be those readings. And the second part is the projects that we do in class, the extra readings that we do in class besides the book. So there'll be two parts. Part of it would be like multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank. And the other part will be open-ended questions like essay questions. There will be no surprises on the exam. In meaning that those open-ended questions, you will understand what types of open-ended questions you need to go over. You may not have all the answers, right? But it will be up to you that you can't say, oh, I didn't know she was going to ask that. Have you ever been knocked down in an exam? Oh, where'd that come from? From left field. I'm not trying in the way to bring you from left field, but I'm trying that you need to be active and you need to participate. So you can see already here, we're going to be doing collaboration, already introduction. We're going to start on Wednesday already doing some team exercises. We're going to look at collaboration tools. You remember how we're talking about collaboration? We're going to be starting to talk about fintech software. We're going to be doing internet and web development. One of the things that I'll be asking each of we'll be setting up groups, probably 3 to a group. So if you have people already, you can think about who you want to have groups. We'll set those up on Wednesday. And those group projects will be things that you're interested in. Whether it's going to be fintech, whether it's going to be automated trading systems, whether it's going to be blockchain, whether it's going to be marketing information systems, whether it's going to be starting a company, and we're going to be looking at marketing certain areas using different types of technologies. One of the things that will be required in the class is each group will have a website. And on September 11th, anybody hear of Wix? W-I-X? Yes, who's heard of it? Okay? So Wix, what have you heard about? Who's heard about anything by Wix? Anybody know about this company?
Yeah.
What do you know?
It's a website creation company, but you don't have to code it. They already have
Templates.
like drag and drop templates that you
Right.
can use.
How much does it cost?
I think it's free.
It's free. The free version is with all their ads and its limited version. And how do any companies have to give something free, but then they need revenue sources? So they have a free version. You don't get a domain name. Free version that's your limited number of pages. You don't get search engine optimization. You don't get an e-commerce site. All those other things. But I get excited. Wix is an Israeli company that has offices in New York and California, and they're starting a new academic program. So I got their representative from New York to fly down on September 11th, and she is going to give us a code for our class that we can get the premier version. So we're going to get to be able to have search engine optimization. We'll be able to get a free domain name for a year for our projects, each of us for our projects. And we'll be able to do e-commerce and use all the premium versions. So on September 11th, she's coming down, and then she's planning to come down again in October to give us more advanced training. So will be part of the class. So that's why I also want us to prepare earlier, that we're somewhat prepared to receive her well coming from New York. So she's going to be doing that. She'll be doing that on Wednesday. So she'll be doing it for both this class and my health informatics class. So they'll both be having. So we'll get, for a year, you'll be able to use their code and have a domain name free for their code. And what they have, everything is now not about your degree. Everybody heard that, when people in tech, a lot of them don't even say, should I graduate? Is it worth it graduating college and so forth? Is what you know. So what they're allowing us to do as well is they're going to give a certificate on web development. So after the class, if you submit your project and you fulfill a lot of their criteria, you can get a certificate from Wix. It's not a computer science degree, but it's at least something that you can say, I have web development from, Wix, why not take it? So I'm all for getting any type of learning that we can. So that's going to happen. She's coming in, Caitlin, she's coming in from New York City, from Brooklyn, I think, on September 11th, and she's also going to come in the middle of October after this part. So you can see that we'll do some blockchain. So we'll have exam. We'll talk about cloud computing, artificial intelligence. We'll do some more of the SEO, application development. And then we end the class. It's interesting. We end basically from this week 14 you see here, after 11:20, that following week, we have a whole week off for Thanksgiving. And we come back for one class. So our group project will be presented the week before Thanksgiving. In a way, it's short, but in a way I like it, because then you can go to Thanksgiving and you say, hey, I've gotten it. The way we're going to work is what we call, you can put it in your notes, it's called Agile Development. Software, when people are writing software applications, what is the problem? The problem is that people need to have it done quickly. And once they basically have developed, programmers have developed the project, and end users say, this is what I want, it turns out that it may take 6 months, a year, and they look at their, they may not even be in their own job any longer, and it's not, the software is not doing what it's intended to do. They don't get feedback along the way. So what we're going to be doing in this class is emulating software development, and that's called agile development. Anybody know what agile means? If you're agile, what does it mean in English? Huh?
You're light on your feet.
You're like, you move, right? You can adjust, right? And that's why basically what businesses need to be, right? If you're so stuck, you think about the greatest businesses now are going under, right? Those GE, anybody here, General Electric, you know, is basically gone down the tubes. And so many Sears used to be the first catalog company. Where's that? You know, Kmart, so many of these bricks and mortar stores are going, and they're not agile to move. So in software development, what we're doing in our group projects is every week, I'm going to give you feedback on how you're doing on your projects. So at the time of your presentations, I'll give you feedback again, and it should be done completely. I'll tell you, give you feedback and say, in order for this to be an excellent project, this is what you need to do. These are what you need to improve, and then you share. So we'll be doing that. Then we'll come back for one day after Thanksgiving. That'll be the final lecture, review exam. I may take a reading day. We may have some time together there. And then the final exam, what Olivia told us is, and she'll keep on tracking, everybody else will, the last day, December 11th. But at least you know what's nice is your project should be done already. So it'll just be concentrating on that, hopefully, and not worrying about a group project. So, how are we doing? So it's, this class ends when?
6:20.
6:20. So that is the way. So Dan, do you have a sheet of paper? Don't you love you have a nice notebook clean? Don't you love that? That's a nice notebook. Do me a favor. And you're going to make yourself, I want you to put we're going to use a sheet of paper. I want you to put on your sheet of paper, I want you to put BTE on the very top of that paper. BTE 210. And we're section J. And then I want you to put in, on the top, I want you to put name. I want you to put in email, phone, just one sheet. Phone. I want you to say major. And I want you to have another column, it's WS of work study. Who's work study here? Anybody qualified for work study? Anyone? No? Okay. And put yourself as number 1. All right. Next, folks. You know what I'd like to do? Excuse me. It's going to be hard for me. I lose my voice. That's why I like to be mic'd. Besides, I like to be mic'd for broadcasting purposes. I lose my voice. So if you need to talk to your neighbors, what I suggest you do is you text them. Okay? In terms of write them a note. Okay? So, because it's hard for me to speak over you guys. Okay. So, what I want to do now is, you've heard about me. What I want to do quickly is twofold. I didn't finish showing you some other things before I do this. I may not have it. Okay, you can pass that around. Okay, the other thing is I need to go to the syllabus, right? Where is the syllabus? Okay, so once we have this, let's go back to, any questions on this, on the syllabus? Get that out of the way. Don't you like it the first day? We got rid of that. We know what it is. So we need to know our assignment. So basically you can think about this is every week you'll have a quiz on the chapters, just to make sure, and the reason for the quiz is just to make sure, is there anything on those topics that you don't understand, you have a quiz for. I don't want to waste time in class doing quizzes. So where should we do it? Do it online. Okay? So the idea is I want to show you how we're going to do the quizzes. So, go to, and number it too. Can you be so kind? Put yourself as a number. What is your name?
Betty.
Benny. So Benny, make yourself like one. Put them out so everybody knows, Benny, your numbers, okay? So we have here, in terms, everybody see here in terms of syllabus. I got the syllabus. The other thing that I wanted to show you here is assignments. Everybody with me in Blackboard? You understand why I like to do a screencasting here? Because then that way you can review it, you can see it. So, anybody have Blackboard on there? And what do you have under assignments? Do you have anything in there?
It says there's no content. to
There's no
start.
content. And what do you see on my side?
There is content.
There is content. So basically, we have different roles here. I'm the instructor, you're the student, right? So basically, it says here availability item is hidden from the students. So what do I need to do?
Make it available.
Make it available. So one of the things here is make it available. In group here is you see anywhere that it says make available? Yeah, where? Right here, I have to make it available. So I'm going to make it available. Now, one of the things when I make it available, I want to see edit then test options. Now, in terms of editing the test options, you'll see these are the options that I can allow for the students. Open the test in the new window, yes. Make available, yes. Add a new announcement to this test. Let's say I say yes, and you'll tell me what it does. And here, it allows me to say, do I want to give multiple attempts or allow unlimited attempts and so forth. What I'm doing for this first quiz is I'm allowing 2 attempts. Because what is my purpose? That you know the material. My purpose on these quizzes is not in terms of grading what you do. I'm giving these quizzes as what? Online, open book, open notes, get the information however you can. So I'm going to do is number of attempts. So I'm going to put in 2 here, and then I'm going to notice here though the last graded attempt. So if your second attempt, you make sure that you do better than your first attempt. Okay? And hopefully you'll concentrate. In this case, I'm saying I'm not setting even a timer. If you're in between things, right, all you need to know is to get it done. And at this point, display until and display after. Right now, since we're having people in the first weeks come in, come out, people may say, you know, this course was not for me. I didn't like her, I don't like this, and I'm not insulted, you know what I mean? It's just everybody has a choice. So when people are coming in and coming out, we're not going to worry about that. So I'm leaving it open. But what I'd like you to do is we'll have those quizzes, and usually what I'll have you do is make sure you do it. Usually what's good is have it done by that Monday. So that way you have a weekend and you can do the quizzes. But it shouldn't take you that long. But right now, that is due for Wednesday. Test availability, due date. I'm not putting a due date in stone because if we have other people coming in, we're going to have to change that. Show results, right? So in this case, after submitted, we have it. And the test, and now I'm going to submit. So now what should you see on your side? Did you go back to Blackboard? What do you see?
It was available.
It's available.
Yeah.
How many times?
Twice.
Twice, and that's it. So for each time you can take it, okay? The other part, so you'll see there that always then you look for what's available then in terms of the assignments. You find it under assignments, you do it. I'm not going to have to baby you on that aspect as well. Okay, the other part is course documents. And in course documents, you have your PowerPoints here. So you can find your PowerPoints here. We'll try to put in our live streams, and a lot of times on the course doc, some software. We'll do some spreadsheets for forecasting. We'll do some readings when I tell you. And then the other part is, and I'll move that up. You see here web links is here's some student resources, here's some screencasting software, some links, some podcasts, and there I'll put in some additional readings that you'll have to do. Okay? Where's the roll? Is that around? Who has it?
It's right here.
Okay, so let's move through that. Okay, so we have that. Any other questions? So right now what I'd like to do is I want to just quickly see who's in my class. So these are basically 3 questions I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me your name, where you're from, your major, and any work experience that you have. And any computer experience that you would like to share with me. Start with Daniel.
Daniel, I'm from Georgia, and my major is management, and I currently work at the Cameron Center for Academic Resources.
Uh-huh. Okay, and what kind of computer experience do you have?
Not much.
Not much. Okay, and your major is management?
Mhm.
Okay.
Levi from Long Island, I'm in management, and I worked this summer for a fashion company,
Doing what?
just intern.
Intern. Okay.
I'm Benny from New Jersey. I'm an accounting major and deliver pizzas.
Deliver pizzas, okay.
Trevor from New Jersey.
You know each other, Jersey?
And
The Jersey boys tech together. Okay, go ahead.
I'm a marketing major and I worked at a camp this summer.
You work at campus.
I'm Sari, I'm from Boston. I'm a marketing major and I work at a store.
At a store. Okay.
I'm Chloe, I'm also from Boston. I'm also a marketing major and I babysit.
Okay, Boston. Okay.
My name's Xander, I'm from Boston too. I'm a marketing and finance.
And you need the other Boston people?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead.
I've worked for the Patriots the past 2 summers.
What?
For the Patriots?
Okay, Patriots. Okay.
I'm Will, I'm from New Jersey, I'm an accounting major, and I work in an accounting firm this summer.
Okay, so,
I'm Jared, I'm from Los Angeles. What was that question?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm majoring in management
uh-huh.
and I worked at a music publishing company.
Okay, is that what you want to get into as well?
Possibly.
Possibly, okay.
I'm Ben, I'm from New Jersey, I'm a finance major, and I was a landscaper this summer.
Okay, use your services. Go ahead.
My name's Ross, I'm from Long Island, New York. I'm a legal studies and political science major, and I work at a law firm.
Okay.
I'm Jillian, I'm from New Jersey. I'm a marketing major and I work at a coffee shop.
I'm Shane, I'm from DC.
You're from where?
I'm from Washington, DC.
Uh-huh.
I'm an economics major, and this summer I was coaching ice hockey.
I'm Chelsea, I'm from New Jersey. I'm a marketing major and I worked in a clothing store. I'm Alice, I'm from Miami. My major is finance and I work at a store.
I'm Chris, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a real estate major and I wash cars.
Okay.
My name's Blake, I'm from Maryland. My major is finance and I just worked at a restaurant all summer.
I'm Olivia, I'm from Chicago, I'm a finance major and I work at a commercial real estate firm.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Mike, I'm from New Jersey, finance major, and I worked at a bank this summer.
I'm George, I'm from Pennsylvania, I'm a finance major and I work for a country club this summer.
I'm Scott, I'm from New York. I'm a finance major and I work in my business.
I'm Cassie and I'm from Texas and I work at a clothing store.
Okay.
I'm Brian, I'm from Texas, and
Wow, we got the different parts of the country. And did you know each other in Texas? Okay, and where are you from? In Texas?
Denton, Texas.
Denton, and where are you from? Fort Worth. Not that far from each other. Okay.
I'm Matt from Long Island, finance, poli-sci, I work at an insurance company.
Okay.
I'm Alec, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm a finance and marketing major.
Did you know those Texans?
Yeah.
See?
And I worked in business-to-business sales this summer.
Okay, good.
I'm Tyler, I'm an international finance and marketing major, and I work at First Republic Bank this summer. I'm from Southern New Hampshire.
Okay.
I'm Alex, I'm from Boston. I'm a health sector management policy major and I work as a camp counselor.
Okay. Folks, what did I say? Text, yes.
I'm Ansel, I'm from Baltimore.
I work at a catering company.
In a what?
A catering company.
Cater.
I'm Carrie, I'm from Miami. My major is finance and I worked at a marketing internship.
My name's Blake, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm majoring in finance and business tech, and I worked at a grocery store this summer.
Okay,
I'm Zach, I'm from New York, I'm a management major.
okay. You'll have one here.
I'm Cameron from Columbus, Ohio. I'm an econ major and I work intern at a tech company.
And what did you do, what kind of tech company?
It's my dad's.
Okay, what did they do?
Like web hosting.
Web hosting, okay, so it's great, so maybe you can talk about, you mind, you can even, when we are talking about Wix coming in and hosting, we can get your advice, we can even maybe get your father to talk online.
Scott, I'm from Boston. I'm an entrepreneurship major, and this summer I work at a restaurant.
Okay, all right, so let me tell you what your assignment then is for the next time we meet. One is try to get, number one, try to get the book any way you can. Do the quiz online. We'll open up, on Wednesday we'll open up the other quiz. So we'll have, Monday we'll do chapter 2 as well. The other part, what I want you to do is 2 parts. You can start doing it and we'll do more next time, is one, is I want you to look for a screencasting program. A screencasting program. And what does that mean? We're going to look for software, and I'll go into it in more detail on Wednesday. We're going to look for software that will record your screen. And why is that going to be important? When we're going to be doing our assignments, new software, you get stuck on a certain place, and guess what? I'm not with you, other people aren't with you. You can record what's happening. If you find out how to do something, you can record it and share it with other people, with your voice. So we're going to look for a screencasting program. And if you have the time, is start looking for ways in which we can broadcast, like the class, where we can broadcast to YouTube and to other ways, and we'll start working on it, and we'll give an assignment. You can think about it. We'll have about, where's the roll? Where's that around? Okay, so let's move it. What we want to do is we want to have about 3 people to a group, 3 to 4 people to a group. So you may want to think about now who's going to be in your group. We'll make groups. We'll create them, just like here. Blackboard will create a group for you guys. You'll put in all your material on Blackboard, but instead of being students, what will you be? You'll be instructors, and I'll be part of it. So you can then have access. You'll learn one collaboration tool, just Blackboard, and then we'll learn other collaboration tools. So that's what we'll do for the next time we meet. So already, if you have your group, you can start thinking about your project, and in terms of even the assignments. When I'm giving assignments like this one, you can work as a team already in finding screencasting. The only thing that I ask is each person find another screencasting program, but you can help each other. And then later on, what we'll do is we'll record those screencasting systems, and we'll upload it where we can upload it to Blackboard of the materials that you do. But that's how the class is going to go. So it basically is, each week is, I'll give a short lecture on probably once on the book and some other readings, and then we'll do hands-on. We'll either be here, hands-on, sometimes, and then we'll go down to the lab. We have it reserved. We'll actually do it there so we can work on it. So if you want to join me, you're invited. Otherwise, I wish you a good semester somewhere else. Okay? So stay with